Hello YouTube, this is Killer Frog and welcome back on the channel. In today's video we'll see what you need to do to fully take advantage of the Peltasts. So whether if you're using the regular Peltast, the light Peltast, the biked Peltast, or even the royal Peltast, this is how you need to use them to make sure to have the full benefit of them and to do as much damage as possible. To do so you need to firstly make sure that your enemies won't block your javelins. So to accomplish that, if you observe your enemies, you will see that they have the shield in the left arm and they wield the weapon with the right arm. With those information, what you're seeing right now is two units of Peltasts that are currently attacking chosen spearmen. Which of those units are positioned one on the shield side, the other one attacking from the weapon side. So you can really see the difference between the kills that will be inflicted to those units. As we can see, the left flank inflicted 93 kills as the right flank 66 kills, so the number of casualties doesn't count really the damage dealt. We can suppose that the 93 kills inflicted more damage, so those models will be a lot weaker on that unit. In the second skirmish, we will observe the Peltast performance attacking our enemies in their back, which is basically their greatest weakness, as we will now have big screen of targets that our Peltast will be able to hit, and we shall see in comparison with the weapon side attack how many kills we will manage to get into the skirmish. Without any surprise we can see our enemies falling like flies, and of course even better, not only did they rout, but we also have enough ammunition that we can turn around and attack the general unit. In total, our best Peltast unit manages to kill about 117 kills, and that's not counting whatever they killed afterwards in the melee. So as we can see, in total we managed to kill 135 kills with our best unit and 126 with the other one. Now in this video what I wanted to exemplify is how not to use the Peltast. As you can see in the middle of the formation, there's 4 units of Peltast behind some oblites, and this is, I guess, a common mistake, if I can say so. This is something that I viewed sometime in multiplayers and stuff like that. By doing this, you will kind of impede your ability to throw stuff at your enemies. Sure, the phrase volley is fine, but afterwards it's kind of difficult. Also, you have your own troop exposing their backs to you. So by doing this, you will increase drastically the friendly fire casualties that you will inflict to your own troops, while also making it difficult to hit the enemies because they will have their shields towards you instead of exposing their back or sword flanks, if I can say so. Although you might sometimes have some good hits or a good opportunity while having your Peltasts in the middle of your formation, one of the issues that you will often encounter when you're playing like this is also that at some point your Peltast units will just move and then they will get stuck, a bit like you're seeing at this moment. They will get stuck in melee against the front line and they will stop throwing their ammunitions. So you will always and constantly have to pull them back and try to have them aiming at some enemies instead of acting stupidly. Another issue about having a Peltast in the middle of your formation is that it will be much harder to actually go around their formation and fold on their flanks. So you will be stuck to kind of fighting and grinding, and it will be much harder to do some progress on the battlefield and to pin them down. So they will keep moving around and having some skirmish here and there. And you shall see in the result of the battle that we will have a lot more casualties than if we will use an adequate formation for Peltasts. As you can see over here with this Pyrrhic victory, even though our Pontic Peltast had a good amount of kills, we took a lot of manpower to actually vanquish our enemies in this battle. Let's now see an appropriate formation so that we can fully take advantage of our Peltasts. For this rematch, we have a pretty similar formation like a semicircle with our front line, but instead of having 4 units of Peltasts in the middle, we have 3 on each flanks, which will be perfect to rotate and attack the middle of their front line. We also use some cavalry on the flanks on each side so that they can intercept any unit that could try to go for our Peltasts. And as our own Peltasts, they're pretty good, as you know by now, for dealing damage. We can easily support our cavalry in this fight if needed. As the battle started, we had immediately an opportunity on the right flank to surround them with the cavalry, as they seemed to be pushing the middle of our own formation, so our peltasts could immediately take a nice position on that flank. As a mismaneuver, sometimes the glitch when you're placing or moving units, like you can see, my 3 peltasts on the left flank kind of went nowhere. I quickly repositioned them, but it will take a little delay before they take position. And soonly enough, you will see them having a nice position, and they will be ready to immediately destroy that Royal Archer Cavalry, or something like that. I'm not too sure about the name of the units, to be frank, but in about one volley, these 3 units with the precision shots will manage to really destroy that unit. And yes, the Pontic Peltasts are actually very strong. They can deal, I think, 41 damage if my memory is right, and with the precision shots, well, they can increase that damage that they deal. So they're absolutely deadly. And one of my favorite Peltasts, to be honest. On that flank now we have those 3 Peltasts that finally arrived into position. I selected the precision shot, and in one volley, as you can see, we basically destroyed half of the health, or units actually, of that unit. Those poor mercenary Mascat Marauders will get absolutely slaughtered. And as soon as that unit is killed, as you get it, that unit will be free to join the flank. I mean, the Oblites will be free to join, as the Peltasts will also continue their surrounding maneuvers. At that flank we will do exactly the same thing. We will attack and continue supporting our flank to really fold both of our flanks on our enemies and basically surrounding them. As you can see, our cavalry also had a good opportunity to pin down their general unit, and some archers by the process. You can also see our peltas that will try to take position to destroy the general unit, but yeah, somehow the AI kind of felt it, I guess, so they tried to really push away with the cataphract. A bit after that moment, we managed to move our right flank to a nice position to really support the middle of our own formation, and we still have a few javelins left, as you can see, so we managed to really destroy them. And a bad maneuver on my side, I threw the cavalry in it and just left it there because, well, I thought that the friendly fire wouldn't be that bad, but it was. So yeah, that was the main mistake, I guess I'd say, in this play. But otherwise, the Pontics now, Peltasts are really in their bag and they are slaughtering them. And as you can see, they will quickly afterwards shattered and fell apart, as we are now ready to go with our Peltasts into the melee mode, since we've thrown everything we could, and since they are pretty injured, it will be easy for our Peltasts to surround them and swarm them basically, and as you will see, they will fall very, very quickly afterwards, and this will be in a result of an heroic victory. As you will see afterward, we still got a similar amount of kills from the Peltasts, but it's really at the speed that we kill them that really changed the game for us. In this battle we managed to have a lot less casualties, and this result in an heroic victory on our side instead of a Pyrrhic one. Also, an interesting way to use the Peltasts is by supporting them by some cheap infantry, or especially the spears, since they will be good to protect them from cavalry if they want to go after them, and as they get engaged, well, the Peltasts will be able to support them, even if it's good infantry or better cavalry. So that could be also an interesting formation to use, or tactic to use with the Peltast. I didn't really use it in the last battle, but yeah, it could be really useful. As exemplified by this short clip of that battle, we can use over here the militia oblites to actually push in it, or to support our own cavalry against that better cav. We had a Cappadocian cav attacking our citizen cav, so this is why I actually use the militia oblites to support our own cavalry units. And by pinning down the cavalry with our spears, now we will be free to use actually our peltas to help our own flank. So this is a nice way to use that little formation that I just talked about. On the more technical side of things, just to be really quick, there's different types of peltas and the stats will change depending of the units. However, at the missile damage, some will have more damage, some less, but the armor penetration for every peltas is the same. It is 12 armor penetration, the rest is just soft damage that they will deal to the targets. The skirmishers, well, the peltas as skirmishers are the best for the armor target. They have the more armor penetration, and this is why in most of the combat I use them on armor unit to show their potential. So if you have softer targets, well, you're better to use the slingers or archers. To conclude, if you want to be really effective with your peltasts, you really need to find a way to go around the shield, basically. So that means to go towards the weapon side if you want to flank them, or to go around them to really attack them in the rear, where it really hurts. If you find those tips quite useful and helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you want to. And if you have any topics that you want me to cover or to help you with, feel free to let me know in the comments and I will try to cover it in the next one. Thank you all for watching, I wish you a good day and I'll see you in the next one.